Meghan's serious mistake when using Lili to attract attention. No one cares after a few days. Hello, friends. Welcome to breaking royal news about the notorious hypocritical couple, Harry and Meghan Markle, on our Kate Middleton and the Queen News version 2 channel. Brace yourself for the riveting tale of Lili's photo release. Oh, wait, you probably didn't even know it happened because it was overshadowed in a heartbeat. It's not like mainstream media cared enough to mention it or anything. Nope, you could only find it in the dark corners of paparazzi photos. And let's not forget about those places that used to fawn over every little thing they did, like the failed Dior deal that got tongues wagging for a whole week until Dior smartly said, "Thanks, but no thanks." But hey, what's there to discuss these days anyway? Their fascinating escapades have dwindled down to virtually nothing, and the only coverage they get is when someone has a bone to pick with them. It's crystal clear that they're crashing and burning faster than you can say royal train wreck. Normally, when a topic fizzles out, we see a decline in posts and discussions, but not with these two. Just when you think they're fading into oblivion, they pull something out of their hats to reignite the frenzy and keep us entertained for weeks. Remember those 4th of July posts? Yeah, they vanished quicker than you can say, desperate attempt for attention. Apart from some Invictus documentaries, there's not much else on the horizon. Well, unless you count those laughable manifesting articles that never seem to materialize. Their prospects aren't looking too promising, and to top it off, we're not even getting paid for articles dredging up ancient history from 6 years before she married Harry. If they can't create an illusion of success anymore, I can't wait to see what they come up with next. Oh, and here's a gem for you. Apparently, Meghan insists on using their prince and princess titles so the children can get used to them. Can you believe the audacity? Does she expect the nanny, tutors, and shop assistants to address them as prince, princess? I can already see the eye rolling from here. What's her plan when they try to have a normal life, make friends, and attend birthday parties? Will she send a group chat demanding everyone call her kids by their titles only? Newsflash, Meghan, that's not how the real world works. Even William, who's actually in line for the throne, wasn't addressed by his title at school, university, or work. He was simply known as William Wales. If she keeps this up, her children will become the laughingstock, bullied for having a deranged and delusional mother. Oh, and guess what? I finally got my hands on the Bower book. It's a real page-turner, let me tell you. It exposes Meghan's true nature, her desperate attempts to be seen, and her assumed names for hotels. The hiding of the children. According to my brilliant analysis, it could only mean one of 3 things. She thinks she holds power by keeping them hidden, she's waiting for a big payday before allowing them to be photographed, or she's playing into Harry's paranoia by creating a lack of exposure. Isn't it fascinating how she always has a grand plan in her twisted mind? Never mind that her schemes never worked before, she still believes she's the all-knowing mastermind. Now that she can't use Harry for anything else, she's clinging to the only thing she has left, his children. Oh, let me enlighten you with some insider information. There's this person, let's call them the organic opinion guru, who never brings up the Harkles, Harry and Meghan, to anyone. Do you know why? Because when the topic miraculously arises in conversation, they want to hear the real, unfiltered opinions of people. And guess what? Not a single soul has mentioned the kids. Shocking, right? It seems like the Harkles overplayed their hand, assuming there would always be an insatiable interest in royal family kids. But sorry to burst their bubble, there's simply no interest whatsoever. No one cares. Not even a tiny bit. You see, the interest in royal family kids comes from witnessing their milestones, watching them at official events, and observing their characters develop, knowing they're the future of the British royal family. But let's face it, the Harkle kids are just strangers now. They're not part of the future of the British royal family. They're regular Americans. And hey, guess what? I can see regular Americans anytime I want. No novelty there. Now let's dive into those 4th of July pictures. Honestly, they were more disturbing than anything. Those poor kids didn't look happy at all. And let's not forget about other royal grandchildren. I knew more about Beatrice and Eugenie because of their parents' wedding, which was closer to Charles and Diana's era. Plus, Fergie had a funny side to her. If it weren't for her friendship with Diana, they probably wouldn't have gotten as much press as they did. As for Peter Phillips's children, I know very little about them, except for one incident where one of them pushed poor little George down a small hill. Now Zara has 2 daughters and a son, although I can only recall 2 of their names. That's about it. But here's the sad truth. Even if Harry were to take the kids back to the UK, who would trust them around their own children? It's not because of what Harry and Meghan did per se, it's the deep-rooted mistrust towards the parents themselves. Dimwit Harry has stolen an extended family from his own children, something he himself enjoyed as a child. I mean, he even cut short his last phone call with his mother to go play with his cousins. Can you imagine raising children in a home that revolves around scheming, drama, hurting extended family members, and engaging in dirty tactics like lying about the family for money? What a joyous environment that must be. Now, with the world finally waking up to the true nature of their grifter parents, the fun is just getting started. Markle and Harry are reaping what they sowed. And let me tell you, they have quite a lot more coming their way. It's a sad way to live, isn't it? Well, let's talk about the ever-fascinating Diana, shall we? The thing is, Diana has been gone for so long that most of her influence has faded into oblivion. The charities she worked with have moved on, and her friends have moved on too. So Meghan trying to turn kids into the next big thing of influence just isn't going to happen, especially in the US. It's like those 2 parents are stuck in the 90s, desperately clinging onto a bygone era. Sure, I'll give you this much. Pre-Diana, the British royals were as fusty and dour as they come. Even Princess Anne, who was young and attractive, was uninspiring from a glamour perspective. Boring clothes, a rarely smiling queen, and a clear distance kept between them and the public. Oh, what a thrilling time that must have been. But then, enter Diana. She was pretty, fashionable, mostly, and had this strange ability to charm people. She would even get down on her haunches to talk to children. Oh, how relatable. I know, it sounds ridiculous to call her relatable, considering she was a blue-blood aristocrat. But she had a way with people that was revolutionary for the British royal family. Revolutionary, I tell you. Part of her allure was the timing of her introduction to the public. It was a fragile time with economic recessions, and the troubles in Northern Ireland. Everything was just so gray and depressing. And then there was Diana, the epitome of a fairy tale wedding with her extravagant dress and that ridiculous 25-foot train. Oh, and let's not forget the economic boom of the 80s where her flashy clothes stood out like a sore thumb among the rest of the royal family. She was a star, no doubt about it. Now let's burst the bubble of the Diana fanatics for a moment, shall we? Diana was no saint. People have been hopelessly infatuated with a woman who was made larger than life by her death, turning her into an untouchable myth. And here comes Harry, making money off the back of his dead mother and proclaiming her a saint. How realistic of him. Times have changed, my dear listeners. The media no longer feels the need to protect her, and even the people are starting to see through the facade. Diana was no victim of the media. In fact, she courted the media, calling journalists, leaking stories, and alerting them to her whereabouts. She was the queen of manipulating the media and the public, always playing the game. Now, let's peel back the layers and look at the troubled, vengeful person that Diana truly was. From childhood, she was determined to undermine Charles's position, but failed miserably. And let's not forget her string of lovers. Oh yes, she enjoyed that little escapade while still married to Charles. And guess what? She openly admitted to suffering from severe mental health issues, so much for being the innocent victim. Diana was basically a child when she got engaged and married. The age difference between her and Charles was vast. They had absolutely nothing in common, and Charles was madly in love with Camilla. She had to endure the media spotlight on every aspect of her life and the suffocating constraints of royal life. Add her eating disorders, depression, and the trauma from her upbringing and her parents' separation, and you have one very troubled woman. Her instability was evident. She attempted self-harm during her pregnancy and possibly at other times as well. In hindsight, she should have never married Charles, and she definitely needed professional help. But back then, help was hard to come by. So yes, she was deeply unstable, and let's not forget her manipulative tendencies, especially as she grew older and realized that her power came solely from her popularity. Let's delve into the intricate dynamics of the royal family, shall we? Harry was indeed spared a lot of the trauma that poor William endured during his parents' marriage breakdown. You see, Diana had a way of turning William against his own father. She shared every aspect of her life with him, including her lovers and her fights with Charles. So naturally, William got a front-row seat to all the drama, and naturally, he sided with his dear mother, especially after they separated and eventually divorced. But Harry, oh dear Harry, he didn't experience that same level of turmoil. His view of his mother is rose-colored, quite naturally. He didn't witness the nuances of their relationship as William did. As William grew and matured, he came to understand that the situation was far more complex than Diana led everyone to believe. It wasn't just a one-sided story of an innocent victim. They were ill-suited for each other, both desperately unhappy. And let's not forget that Diana cheated on Charles first, which ultimately led him back into the arms of Camilla. Oh, the tangled web of relationships. One royal audience commented, "Diana is so overplayed. I was 10 when she died, and I'm already tired of the endless documentaries, movies, etc. about her. How many times can the same story be told over and over? Let her rest in peace at this point and stop with it. If she hadn't died in a car accident and had just died from a life illness or something, there wouldn't be this much media about her out there. Plus, Harry is just disgusting and vile when it comes to his mother. Who keeps the locks of their mother's hair beside their bed and masturbates to her lotion? He is sick and has a deeply rooted issue. Plus, he acts like Diana was only his mother and that William didn't also lose a mother. Meghan acts like people care they have a picture of Diana up on the wall, a formal portrait at that, and that her kids resemble Diana. Americans don't give a shit, and at this point, neither do the Brits. The focus is right where it should be, on the new Princess of Wales and their children. I keep pointing this out as well, as do the truthful journalists who knew her and former friends of hers. It's actually one of the reasons I admire Charles. He could have released a bunch of very specific negative information on her, or had others do it, but he protects her to this day, and I believe he does so for his boy's sake, and for Diana's, even though it allows people to still think all that crap Diana and her minions in the media lied about and put out there is true. He tried really hard to get her the help she needed, but she was too sick to take it. Until it was way too late. She started to get well, and then she had a big dive which led to her untimely death. Her paranoia and vengefulness, egged on by Bashir and the BBC for that Panorama interview, only worsened her state and pushed her to make decisions like dismissing her palace-paid security, which in turn was one of the reasons she got into a car with a drunk/drugged driver and also to not wear her seatbelt. This is why I can't understand why she thinks she's holding the golden ticket with those kids. I'm sure they are cute, but so are all the other celeb babies. She seems to equate herself with Diana, so maybe she thinks the Diana connection is her ace in the hole. But what she has never been able to understand is that a big factor in why Diana was so loved is because she was the Princess of Wales and the next queen. William and Harry were popular because their father was the next king. Meghan isn't, has never, and could never be on Diana's level. She is Fergie, and her kids are Beatrice and Eugenie. Actually, less than Beatrice and Eugenie BC, they are living in America. She isn't going to get anywhere with those kids, and I really hope for their sake she doesn't try. One expert frankly said, "The children don't look like Diana. They look like Markles, the Slavnas, hidden family of shame. I doubt even Harold thinks they are mini Dianas. If Lili had anything but red hair, the Slaven might have an angle to play. But instead of looking like Grandma Diana, Lili looks like Grandpa Tom, as does Archie. I'm betting neither child still has those blue eyes. From what I can see, they are cute as buttons. Just not what the Sleven ordered. No Diana card to play, and they are as white as Harold, so no race card. Hopefully, not even she would stoop that low. She doesn't understand that part of the public's interest in royal children comes from watching them grow and meet those important milestones. Birthdays, first day of school, who do they look like? Look how much Archie has grown. Instead, they have been hidden away to the point that no one cares. Archie and Lili are just two more cute kids in a world full of cute kids. And really, how much does the public care about any celebrity children beyond? Look like how much they look like their famous parents. Just a picture and a 2-line caption in People magazine. The Sleeven badly overplayed her hand there. Of course, she thought she would be queen of all the lands by now. Overplayed that one as well. What do you think about Meghan holding a golden ticket named Archie and Lili in the hope of attracting media attention? Let us know your thoughts below in the comments section. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this newsletter. See you in the next videos. Goodbye.